The McKinsey Solve is a 70-minute online pre-interview screening test that assesses a candidate's cognitive abilities, including critical thinking and decision-making. The results of your McKinsey Solve assessment could make the difference between getting a first-round interview and getting rejected, so it is important that you do well. If you are stressed out about your upcoming McKinsey Solve assessment and don't know what to expect or how to prepare, don't worry because we have you covered. We will teach you everything you need to know about the McKinsey Solve, including what games or simulation exercises you'll be doing and step-by-step strategies for each. What is the McKinsey Solve assessment? The McKinsey Solve assessment is a 70-minute pre-interview screening test taken on a computer, consisting of two 35-minute exercises, ecosystem building and the Red Rock case study. In ecosystem building, you'll create a stable ecosystem by choosing a location for the ecosystem and selecting 8 different species to inhabit it. In the Red Rock case study, you'll ensure ecological balance in a nature reserve by optimizing the number of wolves in the 4 packs that live there such that wolves and elk can sustainably coexist. There have been 4 other games that have appeared in the McKinsey Solve over the years, including plant defense, disaster management, disease management, and migration management, but these games are no longer used. The McKinsey Solve has been used since 2017 under other names such as the McKinsey Digital Assessment and the McKinsey Problem Solving Game. Who is required to take the McKinsey Solve assessment? The McKinsey Solve assessment is required for nearly all candidates globally across all tenures, including undergraduates, MBA candidates, PhD candidates, and experienced hires. The invitation to take the test will come after the resume is submitted, but before first-round interviews. What does the McKinsey Solve assessment evaluate? The McKinsey Solve measures a broad set of cognitive skills, including critical thinking, decision-making, metacognition, situational awareness, and systems thinking. The McKinsey Solve assessment captures information on all of the candidates' actions, including all keystrokes and mouse movements. It then uses data science to assign a score on all 5 of these capabilities. The McKinsey Solve assessment gives each candidate 2 different scores. The product score measures how good the outcome was in each scenario. In other words, the final answer that was submitted. The process score evaluates the different steps and actions the candidate took to complete each task. In other words, how the candidate got to their answer. Before we jump into a step-by-step guide to the ecosystem building game and the Red Rock case study, help support our channel by giving this video a like. Also, make sure to subscribe for the latest consulting and case interview content. Let's move on to a step-by-step guide to the first game, ecosystem building. For this scenario, you are tasked to create a stable ecosystem by choosing a location for the ecosystem and selecting 8 different species to inhabit it. You'll be working with either a marine ecosystem or a terrestrial ecosystem. Different locations on the map have different environmental conditions. Different locations in the terrestrial ecosystem have different sunlight, precipitation, altitude, cloud height, pH of soil, wind speed, and moisture. Different locations in the marine ecosystem have different temperature, depth, current, clarity, salt content, dissolved oxygen, and wind speed. You'll need to select 8 different plant and animal species to populate a functioning food chain out of 39 species. These include producers, who consume no calories and have sunlight as their food source. These are the first layer of your ecosystem food chain. Consumers. These include herbivores, carnivores, or omnivores. And apex animals. These are animals that do not have predators. Each species will have the following variables: food sources, calories provided, calories needed, and preferred environment. Note that the calories provided and needed are for the species as a whole, not per individual animal. In an older version of the game, you are provided with the calories per individual and had to calculate the calories for the entire species. Different species have different environmental requirements for surviving. For example, some coral can only survive within a particular temperature range or level of depth. Additionally, species need to be compatible with one another. For example, certain predators will only eat certain prey. There are specific eating rules that are followed. Species with the highest calories provided eats first. It eats species with the highest calories provided among its prey. Eating species consumes from the eaten species an amount of calories provided equal to calories needed. If the same calories are provided among different prey, a species will eat an equal portion of calories from each prey. If calories needed is not met, the species will die. This is repeated for the next species with the second highest calories provided. Recommended strategy. The 39 species are split into 3 equally sized groups based on their terrain specifications. In other words, there are 3 groups of 13 species that each have their own unique terrain requirements. The first step is to select which of the 3 groups of 13 species you want to build your ecosystem around. We recommend that you start by looking at the producers or the base layer of the ecosystem food chain. Ideally, you want to select a group that has producers that provide a high number of calories and are eaten by many animals. Next, choose the small animals or herbivores with low calories needed and high calories provided. Finally, choose the apex predator that has the fewest calories needed. When all 8 animal species have been selected, run through the eating rules to make sure that there are enough calories for all species to consume. If you pick the right producers or base layer of your ecosystem, the calories should be sufficient at each level. If it is not sufficient, you may have picked the wrong small animals or herbivores or the wrong apex predator. In the rare scenario where you cannot get the ecosystem to be self-sustaining, you can select a different group of 13 animal species and repeat the steps for creating the ecosystem. Next, let's move on to a step-by-step guide to the Red Rock case study. This scenario is set on the island of Red Rock, a nature preserve with populations of various species, including wolves, elk, and plants. The island's wolves are split into 4 packs in 4 different geographies. The goal is to ensure ecological balance by optimizing the number of wolves in the 4 packs such that wolves and elk can sustainably coexist. To do this, you will create an ecological field study investigating wolf packs on the island and relocate the packs so that they best balance with the species around them and survive. There are 4 parts to the Red Rock case study: investigation, analysis, reporting, and answering case questions. You will have 35 minutes to complete all of these parts sequentially. Part 1, investigation. In this part of the case study, you'll have access to the full description of the case. Your task is to extract all important data points and put them in an on-screen research journal for use later. Information will be displayed in the form of numbers, text, graphs, and charts. Later on, you will not have access to any data points except those in the research journal. To record data points into the on-screen journal, simply drag any movable data point into the journal. The data point will show up in the journal as an entry with its own label and description. These will be automatically generated, but you are free to edit the label and descriptions as you wish. You may need to modify these labels and descriptions as the auto-generated content will not always be helpful. Recommended strategy. There will be a ton of information provided to you, but only 10 to 20% of the numbers will actually be important to the case. You will not have time to collect every data point, so it is important to skim through the case description information and prioritize collecting only the important pieces of information. There are 2 types of critical information you should be collecting. First, you should be collecting data relevant to the case objective. Second, you should be collecting data that provides instructions on which math formula to use and which numbers to use. Remember, you can collect data from text, tables, graphs, and charts. Part 2, analysis. In this part of the case study, you'll answer 3 numerical questions based on the information you have collected in the previous part of the case study. There will be an on-screen calculator provided to you that you will use. Note that all of your calculations on the on-screen calculator will be recorded. You will also only be able to use numbers that you have recorded in the previous part of the case study to input into the calculator. The calculator will have basic functionality, only performing calculations involving addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and percentages. All of the answers you calculate will be collected and stored in the journal for the next part of the case study. Recommended strategy. The most important step here is to do all calculations on the on-screen calculator. You will not get credit for doing calculations in your head. Any important numbers used to answer the numerical questions must be derived from using the on-screen calculator. Don't just start doing random calculations just because you're given a calculator. Take the time to think through what data you have and what formulas you have. Only then will you be able to cleanly and smoothly enter the calculations onto the on-screen calculator. Part 3, reporting. In this part of the case study, you'll complete a pre-written report on wolf populations or plant biodiversity levels. you'll need to complete both texts and graphics. For text, you'll need to fill in blanks using numbers that were given and calculated in the previous part of the case study. For graphics, you'll need to select the best type of chart to represent the data to facilitate drawing meaningful insights and conclusions. Recommended strategy. Filling in numbers in the pre-written report should be fairly straightforward if you have performed those calculations in the previous part of the case study. When selecting which chart to use to best represent the data, think about what the goal or purpose of the chart is. What insight are you trying to show in the simplest, clearest, and most effective way? This will help you identify which chart is best to use. Part 4. Answering case questions. This part of the case study is different in that it does not depend on any of the information or data provided or analyzed in the previous 3 parts of the case study. You'll answer 10 multiple choice questions and numerical answer questions. The different question types include word problems, formula calculations, verbal reasoning, critical reasoning, and visualization. These questions must be answered sequentially, so you will not be able to skip a question and come back to it later. Recommended strategy. Based on candidates' experiences, there is significant time pressure during this part of the case study. Therefore, we recommend that you try to allocate at least 10 minutes to this part. That means you will need to complete the prior 3 parts of the case study in 25 minutes. These problems are similar to problems on the former McKinsey problem-solving test and to GMAT integrated reasoning problems. If you are rusty with math, we recommend that you spend some time doing practice problems from these 2 resources so that your math skills are up to par on test day. Next steps. Now that you know exactly what to expect in your upcoming McKinsey Solve assessment, it is time to further refine and hone your strategies and get some practice. We've linked some resources in the video description below on where you can find more detailed step-by-step strategies and where you can practice taking a McKinsey Solve simulation. While you are preparing for the McKinsey Solve, you should also be preparing for case interviews in parallel. Check out our comprehensive case interview course and books, also linked in the video description below.